If you're a contractor for years and you're not getting a lot of referrals, like you're doing something wrong. The more happy customers you have, the better.
You never know what other contractors you're going to bump into on those jobs.
Make sure everybody knows what you do.
You got to put yourself out there.
It's not always about making money today. If you can make someone happy, that will turn into more jobs tomorrow. And that's a really good point. So that client that I just showed with the Facebook ad that sells windows, I talk to him every month or two, and he's got a very good business philosophy. And I'll share a little nugget of wisdom that I got from him the other day. So especially when we're busy, a lot of us business owners do this where we'll have leads come in and maybe the project's really small and we just don't feel like it's worth our time. And so we don't even bother with it. And that's how most window companies are. Like window companies, they want to go into a house with 30 windows that need to be replaced. If someone hits them up and they only want 1 or 2 windows, most of them won't even call back. But this guy always goes, talks to the people, and almost always replaces their windows. And he does it because he is highly aware that his business thrives off of referrals. Like these ads that we run from him, he's got a timeline. Like he tracks this stuff closely. He knows that it's about a 15-month timeline where people will refer customers to him. And so after 15 months of running ads with us, he knows that the referrals coming in are coming from those clients that came from his ads. And it's going full circle. He gave me 2 examples where like one guy, he needed like 1 or 2 windows replaced. So my client went to his house, talked to him about replacing his windows, lined it all up. And then the guy was like, oh, and my mom across the street needs like all 25 windows in her house replaced. And boom, one job led to another. There was another instance where one guy needed 1 window replaced, and this guy happened to work for a property management company, and this guy's boss said, hey, we need to replace all the windows in this apartment building. Does anybody know anybody? And so they got a hold of my client, and he ended up turning 1 window into 140 windows. And both of these clients who referred him to other people, he was the only one that bothered to go and meet with them. And so the lesson here is like the more happy customers you have, the better. Even if they're little tiny customers that you're not going to make a big profit off of, the goal should always be to turn one customer into many more customers by just giving them the best experience that you possibly can, even if it means you're not going to make a whole bunch of money from them. You know, on the flip side, I have other clients who get a lot of leads, but they very, very rarely take any of the projects because they're not big enough. They're not worth their time. And these clients always struggle to have enough projects. And when I look at my own remodeling company and our history, I don't know, at least half of our jobs, our big jobs, come from little jobs like replacing a door. We'll go replace a door for someone. A year later, we're remodeling their entire house or we're building an addition. And so that's the name of the game, is like the more happy customers you can have, the better. And think long term. It's not always about making money today. If you can make someone happy, that will turn into more jobs tomorrow.
Dude, I second that 100%. I've seen that true in the flooring industry and in the IT industry, because we would sometimes do these little shitty insurance jobs and we hated every moment of it. And we made like a fifth of the amount of money we'd make on a new house build. But you never know what other contractors you're going to bump into on those jobs. You're never going to know what other properties that homeowner owns. Maybe it's a landlord and they're sitting on a dozen other properties that need work. And then on the IT side, that happened all the time too. Because like we used to do the odd residential job where I'd go install Wi-Fi at some guy's house, make $100. Wasn't really a profitable thing, but you never know who that guy knows. Maybe that guy owns his own company and then goes, you know what, we could use some new Wi-Fi at our office actually. Oh yeah, we've got 50 employees there. We're going to need, 17 access points or whatever it is. Like, you never know. So that's, seconded.
Yeah. If you're paying any kind of advertising or you're investing in marketing, like get all that you can out of those jobs that you get from it. Because in the long term, like if you're a contractor for years and you're not getting a lot of referrals, like you're doing something wrong. Like you should be getting referrals, you should be getting repeat business. And if you're one of those companies who you've always thrived off of referrals, but you're not getting enough, well, advertise. But understand that maybe you'll have to spend a lot of money to get this client the first time, but that should turn into more 12, 15 months down the line.
Yep. It's like the 2 degrees of Kevin Bacon or whatever. It's like every person. Oh, you haven't heard of that?
No.
Oh,
I know who
it's
Kevin
like
Bacon
how
is.
it's like you're only ever 2 people away from Kevin Bacon. I think it kind of works for any person. Like you know someone who knows someone who knows Kevin Bacon. It's not even 1 degree for most business owners. It's like if you do a smaller job for someone, and maybe it's just one of the small fry jobs, and that's it. But like guaranteed, they know 5 business owners or 5 people who have those 100 window jobs for you. Like they know someone. It's
Yeah.
not even 2 degrees. It's like just the next level.
100%. And that reminds me, like, I put out a video a while back where I was just going over like the basics of marketing for contractors. And like the first tip was make sure everybody knows what you do. And there was one guy in the comments section like flipping out like, "Oh my god, this is way too basic. Like you don't even need to say this, blah blah blah." But he was like missing the point. It's like if you're a good person and people like you want everyone that you know to know what you do because they're going to tell other people. And like I said earlier, it's so common for contractors to not want to talk about themselves. They feel bad about selling. They don't want to be a sleazy salesman, but it's like you got to get over that and just make sure everybody knows what you do. Give them a business card. Like you can ask people like you're a mechanic, like, "Oh, thanks for fixing my car. You know anyone that needs their bathroom remodeled?" They're probably going to say no, but if they like you, they're going to take your card and be like, "Well, if I hear of anyone, I'll let them know." If you make that a habit and you do that all the time, like you're going to have too much work. And that's the best way to get work anyway.
We almost got to bring some Russell Brunson philosophy into the contracting world, which is like it's if you have something that other people need, if you're able to solve a problem that they have, it's your duty to make sure that they know that you exist and to sell to them. Like it's your duty to sell, not in a salesy way, not in a I need to maximize my profits way, but in a they need help and I have the solution. And for me to sit at home with no jobs and for them to sit at home with a problem they can't solve, that just makes no sense. Like you gotta put yourself out there.
Yeah, absolutely. If you believe that you are the best bathroom remodeler, then it's your absolute duty to make sure that you are always remodeling a bathroom. Otherwise, you're doing everyone a disservice. If you don't think you're the best, well, then go get better and become the best so that you can feel that in your bones when you're talking to people. That just reminds me really quick, like if you are not proud to show people your website, then your website sucks. Same with your business cards, same with your products, your craftsmanship, all that stuff. Like you should be absolutely stoked to show that off. If you aren't, that's a clear sign that you need to improve it.